Namaste everyone. Hope you are able to see the screen. Good evening to all of you.
Good evening, Namaste, Hari Om.
Hari Om. All of
Hari Om. Namaste.
Namaste. Let's be seated comfortably, back spine straight. Sit tall. Allow yourself to settle down for the class, to settle down and tune into yourself. Feel the body being seated. Check the sitting bones, check your spine. Exhale and relax your shoulders completely. Breathe in and feel the air passing through the nostrils. And breathe out, let go. Inhale and exhale. Feel the air in the nostrils moving in and out. Observe the in-breath and the out-breath. Namaskara Mudra in the chest. 3 rounds of Omkara. Inhale. Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryamkaravavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu mavid vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Unmute yourself, Aarti. Oh, you're unable to unmute. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Janmandyasya yatonvayaditaratah चातेष्वभिज्ञं स्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। Namaste everyone. Namaste Aarti. Are you able to unmute now? Oh, okay. So let me start sharing the screen so that we could do a summary of last time's class. Just hold on. Are you all able to see the book screen? Can someone put a message, please? Can you see the book screen, please? Tell me, please. Is any problem? Okay, thank you, Chandrika. Okay. So let me give a summary of what happened. So I'll start with how it was after the great deluge. You could visualize the Narayana nicely, beautifully lying down on Adishesha. He was absorbed in Yoga Nidra. And what happens after that? That time, all the gunas, there was a lot of equilibrium in the entire universe, and there was a slight disturbance there, and the gunas were little bit gone up and down. There was a balance, there was an upset in the balance, and from his navel a lotus stalk emerged. And who was there in that lotus stalk? Brahma. That is again a manifestation, again a Narayana form of Brahma was there. And Brahma looked around and he saw that there was absolutely nothing in the universe, and he was absolutely not knowing what to do. But there was no panic, no agitations, nothing. He just saw only lot of water around him, and there was a lot of, he could hear the waves of the ocean, he could hear, but he could not understand why he was here. And suddenly from somewhere a voice came, and he was in that state of mind where he could comprehend what that voice was telling. It was saying tapa tapa tapa, and he understood that it is from the voice of Bhagwan telling him what to do. So he sat and performed penance, performed tapas for many years, and that time he felt the presence of Narayana in his mind, and immediately when the moment the presence came, he knew what to do. And there Narayana was telling him that, you know what, you are being created for a particular purpose, that is, you are supposed to create the worlds and all the beings in it, and that is what you need to be doing. So he gave direction or a purpose for Brahma, and Brahma now has a purpose in life. So immediately from his mind itself, the Sanatakumaras came, and he asked the Sanatakumaras, you need to start the action item of creating. But Sanatakumaras were in another state of mind, in a sattvic state of mind, where they wanted to completely surrender to the divine. They did not want to go into the creation aspect at all. So they said, I'm sorry, I can't take up this role. And Brahma was little irritated. So when you get irritated, there is a wrinkle in the brow, right? And from that, immediately there was another creation, and who came out? There was a child who was reddish blue in color and began to cry, and he named him as Rudra. And he said that, you know what, Rudra, you need to take care of the following items. You need to ensure that these following items are beautifully multiplied. So that heart, the senses, the life, and all the Panchabhutas there, and the sun, and the moon, and the tapas, everything, these are the places assigned for you. So you need to create more and more of such images. You think like an amoeba has to create more and more like that. And then from his body, from mind we know, from the brow we know, from the body, the rishis came. So many rishis. And these are the rishis who are taking the lineage forward, to say exactly. Atri, Angiras, Pulastya, Pulaha, Kratu, Bhrigu, Daksha, Marichi, Vashishta, Narada. And also from Brahma, Dharma, that is the goodness, and the Adharma was also born. So only when there is Adharma, we can understand the greatness of Dharma or the greatness of Bhagavan, right? And from his heart, the desire came, the Kama came, and from his brow, the anger or the Rudra came. And also the 4 Vedas were born, and then he also had one feminine aspect and a male aspect also were created, the Swayambhu Manu and the Shatarupa. And they both beautifully merged together and then had 5 children. That is, there are daughters who call Akuti, Prasuti, and Devahuti. So these were the people who are also taking the generations forward, right? And the sons were Priyavrata and Uttanapada. So it's not necessary to by heart, but it is nice to know. And then, so who all married, how the descendants carried, this will be keeping on repeating. So we will move on. Now Swayambhu Manu was created. Immediately Swayambhu Manu came to Brahma and said, tell me now, what should I do? I really need to get a purpose, right? I am born for a particular purpose. So Brahma said, you have to start the word of creation. You have to really start the creation. Then Manu said, I have to have a place. I have to stay in a place, I have to do that. But where is Mother Earth? Mother Earth is already, completely somewhere in the Netherlands. I have no idea where she is, because she is somewhere submerged in the deluge there. And we don't know where she is also. So without Mother Earth, how can I do my responsibility? So Brahma was also thinking, Narayana told him to do this work. And now Mother Earth only is not there. Now what can I do? The thought itself, immediately from the thought, what happened? From the nostrils, a boar completely just sprang out, to say, just rushed out of Brahma's nostrils. And the tiny boar the size of a fingernail. And from that, the fingernail boar became huge and huge and huge. It became a big boar. And that was whom? Was Narayana himself, who had taken the avatar of a boar. And last time we were saying that why Narayana took the form of a boar. The boar which is so connected to the Prithvi element. The boar which is connected to the divine Mother Earth. Which really wanted to connect to Mother Earth, who was absolutely in distress. Absolutely, imagine Mother Earth being submerged completely, a child or someone who's submerged into a complete sorrow and despair, and somebody reaches out a hand. That hand, whoever reaches out a hand, that person needs to have that connection. And that is how the Narayana took the form of a boar, where the boar has that connection to Prithvi, absolute beautiful connection. There is no one else who loves Prithvi more than the boar. And Narayana beautifully takes the form of a boar. And immediately the boar sent up a roar, and which resounded in all the directions, and everyone around, all those people there, right, who was Brahma has created, everyone, we were all just looking at awe. Imagine a huge boar who just rose up like that, and then they were not knowing what is the purpose of this boar, right? They were just looking at this boar because Brahma had this thought, and from what to do, oh Bhagavan, that's it. Well, you have told me to do this thing, and from that thought, beautifully Brahma, the boar has sprang from his nostrils. And because nostrils, this is where you could smell earth, right? Where can you smell earth? Can you do that with your other sense organs, right? Only from your nostrils. So this is where we stopped, right, Bala? We stopped here, right? Yeah. Sniffing the air around him, sniffing the surface of the waters, the magnificent boar entered the ocean suddenly. So terrible and so sudden was the plunge that the ocean was heaving, unable to bear the burden. Swimming and running inside the water, the boar reached the bottom. There he found the earth. There he found Mother Divine Earth. Raising it in his tusks, the boar began to rise up. His progress upwards and towards the surface of the ocean was slow. An Asura tried to stop his progress, but he was killed. The Varaha then continued his interrupted progress. Sanaka and his brothers, Brahma, Marichi and his brothers were all watching with bated breath. Should I stop here, Bala? Are you unable to hear me? Oh my God. Okay. Sorry, I think by mistake something happened. Yeah, can you now unmute yourself? Let me see. Can you unmute once more, Bala?
Yeah, now it's happening.
Okay, sure. Yes, Bala or Aarti, would you want me to continue or should I be here itself?
I think we can continue, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one interesting point here to say that he was inside, he was raising the mother divine earth in his tusks and his progress was slow. See, it was just reminding me mana prashamana upayaha. Any action you do it with slowness, with steadiness. There is no hurry to finish the action item. So that was what suddenly it just struck me. So there was beautifully mentioned about slow and steadily. He was with steadiness. That is, he is balancing the divine Mother Earth in his tusks, and Bhagavan is slowly with steadiness. He is coming up. And of course, an asura is coming. Asura means some obstacle is coming. Even then, with that balance retaining, he is beautifully, finished that obstacle. And then again, he is continuing his progress. And everyone, of course, is watching with bated breath. Aarti would like to continue.
So that part actually reminds me of that story of Lord Hanuman crossing the ocean to reach Lanka, and he meets the three obstacles, no? As we are slowly rising, I mean, he was trying to reach his destination, then he meets those three obstacles of Mainaka, Surasa, and Samhika, right? So,
Yes, actually, in that way, because I've been reading Sundarakanda for some time now. When you talked about this very beautifully in this itself, that is, Hanuman is wanting to find Sita. Okay, so he enters Lanka and he is looking for Sita. So where is Sita? Where is Sita? I have to find Sita. I have to find Sita. I need to look for Sita because I have to inform my Vanaras, my friends, and I have to tell Rama that I have found Sita. So that was the way he went on his thought process. There is a lot of monologue of Hanuman there when he starts looking, when he is looking into every chambers of Ravana, in every room of the entire Lanka city, looking at so many women, wondering, is this Sita? Is this Sita? I have to know who is Sita. So there was, you would have understood how many word times I have used I, right? And suddenly, he realizes during that he's been always in the I mode. Okay, I have to find. And suddenly some kind of a thought came that, oh Bhagwan, now I understood. All this while I said I have to find Sita. Now I want to really call upon you and ask you to show your Sita to me. So beautifully, that the change of thought, the beautiful change of perspective itself. Oh Bhagavan, you show your Sita to me. I am absolutely surrendering to you, because all this while I was thinking I have to find. But now I understand that you will show her when the time comes. I know I'm absolutely surrendering completely, because it is not because of my mightiness that I am going to find. It is absolutely because of your grace and your compassion and your glance that you are going to show me Sita. And the moment he has this change of outlook, immediately he is able to the next steps or next set of incidents, and immediately he is able to go to the place and Ashokavana, and he watches, he observes Sita, and that time he realizes, see Bhagavan, that you have showed your Sita to me. I'm so thrilled with joy. So that change of that thought process of Hanuman was absolutely touching for me, because his monologue dialogues in Tulsidas Ramayana is very, very beautiful actually, and like that. So I just thought of sharing that.
Very
Anyone else?
beautiful. When you told the last thing, no? Many times when we have surrendered and left it, and when whatever, had to happen, when it happens, we realize it is definitely not my effort. Though every time it is not my effort, we say, but we are still in this, caught up with the doership, right? When we have consciously surrendered, and that time the joy is something, much more actually than when I have got something and I think that it is from my effort. Both the ways, it has happened. Yet that attitude, when we realize that when we are actually connected to the real doer, then I think that joy is something, I don't know, like that's what Hanuman feels, right? At that time, it is totally surrender. The moment we have surrendered, our shoulders also feel very light, right? That responsible, that whatever was a burden, we have put it at his feet. And that joy, I don't know if anyone have experienced something, would like to share, I'm welcome to share that. Where, it could be a very small thing, like, oh, it's beyond my capability, I just leave it to you. And then, it comes out beautifully. And when you see that happening, we are witnessing that happening. So that the joy is something we cannot express in words, I think. Yes, Lakshmi, she has raised your.
Yeah, today morning I experienced it. That is what I would like to share. Actually, next month on 4th, we have booked for Tirupati Kalyanotsava Darshan. And somehow we have, the room booking has been missed. And with lot of difficulty since 1 week, we are inquiring everywhere, and I am not able to get the room for this one, for fresh up at least, not for this one, accommodation at least. And every day, Krishna, it is left to you. I don't know what to do, because I have two kids, very small, so I have to take care of them. So I don't know what to do. Like today morning, we called up to ISKCON, and we told the reason what has happened, everything. They told, okay, if you please come, we'll arrange for you. So not to worry. Once you get down from the train, give us a call. We'll make sure for it. They told us. So it was like I was very happy for that. I always believe in Krishna, so I got accommodation in ISKCON itself. So felt very happy.
Yes, beautiful, no? And you feel like, oh wow, he has called me.
Yeah, and that's what I want. I need to. Anyhow, I'm taking the shelter and shelter of Krishna itself, and he wants me to take the shelter in his place itself. So the joy and happiness, it was worried since 1 week. Today I felt it very happy. Like the joy, it is like it is unexpressible.
Very true. Very beautiful.
Okay. Even as they were looking, they saw the earth emerge from the water, and the Varaha was bearing it on his tusks. He placed the earth on the dents formed by his hoofs, and Brahma with the others praised him and his glory. They said, "You are the Lord of Lords, who is worshipped by all men in the form of Yajna. Your form is made up of the 4 Vedas. We salute Narayana, who has assumed the form of Varaha. Your skin is made up of Gayatri and the other Chandas. The hair on your body is named Barhis. Your eyes are Ajya. The right by name Chaturhotra is made up of your legs. It is not given to everyone to see the sacred form of yours." They then compared each individual part of his body to an essential for performing the yajna. And they continued, "We are grateful to you. This earth lifted by you on your tusk looks beautiful. She looks like a lotus bud lifted aloft on the trunk of an elephant. We salute you and thank you for restoring to us the earth, the foundation on which the entire creation has to rest. We salute you and your wife, Mother Earth. Because of the drops of water which you have scattered around you, the heavens have become purified. The spots where your hair has been shed have become holy, fit places for performing yajnas. We pray that your kind, benevolent eyes will ever rest on us.
Very beautiful. This part is called Yajna Varahastuti in Bhagavatam, right? And it is so beautiful. I was thinking, why he is called as the Yajna, as the Yajna form. Any thoughts? Something came to my mind, but if something coming to your mind also, it is, Yajna is, last time also somebody had written, right? Idam na mama, we keep saying. Yajna is the process itself is where we are sacrificing, right? Something. And here very beautifully, in the form, like the dharana we have done, right? Everything, they are describing the form of Varaha. So as we absorb the form of Varaha Murti, I think the yajna happens automatically, wherein the mind is completely filled with Varaha Murti, and in the mind, me and my ahamkara, mamakara, vrittis get dissolved. So the yajna happens beautifully. So, that's why he is called as, a yajna Varaha himself, right? It is so beautiful. And when we read the stuti also, it is, it very nicely, author Kamala Subramanian has put all that here. And to see the entire creation, that's what we have seen, right? What was it? Meditating the Lord in his cosmic form, Vishwarupam. Entire creation as his form itself. When we are able to do that, I think the yajna happens automatically. Right? Any other thoughts, Arti Prabha?
So, some of the things, even from the earlier stanza, why did Varaha come from the nostril of Brahma? If we have to look at it, these are also, we just, as stories, we read it, but then you understand why nostril. So if you look at creation, the process of creation, there is Pancha Tattva. Akash, Vayu, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, we saw this last week.
Oh, that nostrils are coming, what?
Yeah. The sense of smell, earth.
Oh, because of the sense of smell, Varaha came out.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to. Yeah. Okay.
I think this yajna word beautifully, Raghuramji also keeps talking about the spirit of yajna. He keeps mentioning about what is the spirit of yajna here, because sometimes people, for a common man, people think yajna sacrifice, translation. So he used to keep saying, what are you sacrificing? When we sacrifice, what is our state of mind? So that itself makes a huge difference. He used to give, I forgot his examples, but he used to give very, very interesting stories about it, about Mullah Nasruddin and all that. But finally, the crux of that he used to keep saying is, in that yajna, when I say I am sacrificing, so what is that sacrifice I am doing? What is my saying? Oh, I am sacrificing. See? So that is one way I said, see, oh, I am blessed to be of service. I am offering completely this. So there is a difference in the state of mind of sacrificing. Absolutely, you are in that mode of sacrificing. Here again, I again come back to Sundarakanda because when Vibhishana comes, He gives all his counsel to Ravana, right? He says that, don't you know who is Rama? He is Bhagavan Ramachandra, he is everything, like that all he says. And Ravana obviously deluded, he is not able to understand, and Vibhishana said, okay, I have done what I am supposed to do, and I am so eager to meet Ramachandra. But he's also feeling that he is having a Rakshasa body, and am I worthy to be even seeing Rama? But there is so much of sense of excitement, thrill when Vibhishana is flying all across the ocean to meet Ramachandra. And when he comes, of course, there are dialogues of all other people questioning Rama that do you really think you want to trust him? And Ramachandra says that he has come to my shelter, and whatever it is, whoever he is, that's it. That is, whoever seeks my shelter, that's it. I am there for him. That's it. That's all. And then when the beautiful conversation with Vibhishana and Rama, Swami Aparajitananda beautifully talks about that, where Vibhishana completely offers himself, that he just absolutely falls at his feet, and then absolutely is there that I offer myself to you. Because immediately Rama calls him, hey Lankesh, that is, he already has appointed him as a king, and he talks like that, hey Lankesh, I'm so happy that you came, and like this and all. He has very beautiful dialogues, and Vibhishana is not carried away with any of those things. He's there absolutely in a sacrifice mode, that is, in absolutely offering surrendering attitude. And at that time, when they were thinking what is the next mode of action of crossing the ocean, this is where very beautifully Swami Aparajitananda says that immediately Vibhishana said, may I suggest an idea? Why don't you sit and then do your prayers to Varuna Maharaj and then pray? And Lakshmana, how he will say, why do you need to pray? You are the Parabrahman, you are the Maryada Purusha, you just raise your arrow and just shoot and dry up this ocean and let us cross. So that was the attitude, Lakshmana says. And Rama very beautifully takes this, very beautifully he says that, I think what Vibhishana says is right. Let me sit and pray. So here is where Aparajitanandaji's commentary is here. See the way very beautifully Rama takes up the suggestions of his bhaktas. Very beautiful way, that is. And Sugriva, here Sugriva and other Vanaras, they also told Rama, you just take the arrow and shoot, okay, or why don't you do this, why don't you do like that? So Aparajitanandaji says that, see, for all Sugriva, sometimes they keep forgetting that he is Rama. They keep thinking that they keep forgetting that he is Bhagavan Rama. They just think that he is Rama, my friend, or Rama so and so. But for Vibhishana, it was not Rama this and this. For Vibhishana, he was Bhagavan Ramachandra. Absolute surrender, absolute offering of himself, that anything Bhagavan says, I am fine. It's not like no tarka, no argument, nothing. He says, Bhagavan says, I will sit and do. Bhagavan says, I do this. Bhagavan says, I do. That's it. So that was the mode of offering for him. It was like he sacrificed himself. That is the absolute, there is no I-ness in Vibhishana at all. So that was the way he offered there, compared to Sugriva, compared to other Vanaras there. Of course, Hanuman is absolutely different. I'm talking about the other Vanaras. So I just thought of sharing. Hope it made sense in this context. Anything else? Anyone? Somebody has written chat. Yeah, there are no wants, correct?
So when this body is created, so in a way, if you look at it, smell, the Prithvi Tattva is born. The first, okay, Mother Earth is coming up, the Prithvi Tattva, that is, maybe we are taking, there was a spiritual form, and then now it's entering into the physical form and taking a physical form. And now when this physical form comes, before even the ego is created, the yajna spirit, yajna bhava is created. And then that's beautifully given, the Gayatri and the Chandas, right? So if for those who may not know, Chandas is like a meter, like the Gayatri is a meter, right? You say Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha Tatsa Vedur. It has a certain number of syllables, and it goes up in certain places, comes down. There is a meter. If you chant the Bhagavad Gita, it will have a completely different chandas. So basically the idea is, for yajna, whatever is needed, right? That spirit of yajna is first created when that physical form is first there. This was just something I connected right now in the form of that process, because we have to remember, we are discussing creation here. The cosmic creation and the, at a jiva level, at a cosmic level. So that Prithvi has come out, and the physical form is now in place. And the first thing that is there is the yajna. That's something I just wanted to say. It's like she looks like a lotus bud lifted aloft on the trunk of an elephant. Who is this Mother Earth? Okay, it's such a beautiful... In that lotus is a significance of purity. And out of that purity, this physical form has now come. This beautiful Mother Earth is now there. Even when we see as a baby, right? So we see when a baby is born, that baby is a spirit, but that baby, the moment it takes a physical form and enters into this Mother Earth, initially we say, that baby is more connected to the spirit. That ego is not there. It's there in that yajna mode already. Right? So I don't know if this connection.
No, it's very beautiful actually, because you brought up this, in chapter 3, I just happened to have Bhagavad Gita next to me. So in chapter 3, very beautifully Krishna says, the chapter 3 is Karma Yoga, right? So he says, I will just read the meanings, okay? And then we will see the sequence, how beautifully, like what Aarti said, yajna comes even before the gross creation starts. See, it is fantastic. So, Bhagavan Krishna from 9th, this is the crux of Karma Yoga. It says the world is bound by actions other than those performed for the sake of sacrifice. So, perform action for yajna alone. It says yajnarthat karmanon yatra lokoyam karma bandhana. So, when someone is performing actions not in the yajna spirit, then we get bound. Okay, but this entire creation is created so that yajna happens. Okay, he says, Tathartham karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara, without any attachment, do it. He says, the Prajapati, the creator, in the next thing he says, having in the beginning, when he created mankind, together with yajna. Okay. So, fantastic, how beautifully you just brought the same thing. He is telling in Bhagavad Gita, where he says, the Prajapati, having in the beginning created mankind together with sacrifices, he says, by this yajna shall you prosper. Let this be the milch cow of your desires, kama dhuk. So, karma is not wrong. Karma is needed for survival. Okay. But even those karma at the body level, it is needed. Now, when I'm hungry, I need to eat food, right? And for that, the desire that appetite has to be there. That's why the very first thing they ask is not hunger. They say appetite. Do you have that desire to eat? Right? So that is needed. But even that perform in the yajna. That is why he says the Prajapati, having in the beginning created mankind together with yajna. So saha yajna, praja srishtva. So along with yajna, he has created our entire mankind. So we need to remember this. So with this yajna only, the devas are nourished. Okay, and we nourish one another. When things are not done in yajna spirit, we see how consumerism is taking the toll. on everything, actually, right? When I consume for my own thing with absolute no sense of sacrifice, all that, greed, everything comes, right? Accumulating, parigraha, all those things come in when there is no yajna spirit, right? So he says, when we start acting each and every action with that yajna spirit, we nourish the gods, the devas, okay, and they also nourish, and we also nourish one another. See, the beings can live in harmony. And in fact, I think I remember Swamiji Aparajitananda was saying, everything else in nature works in yajna spirit except human beings. Okay, it's because only the human beings, we have this ego, right? And we start feeding the ego. The deva, nourished by the sacrifice, will give you the desired objects. So the rain can happen only when I live in the yajna spirit. When human beings do not live in yajna spirit, then there is over generations, we see this huge system, this beautiful thing. The harmony is gone, right? So as I said, the deva nourished by sacrifice. As we do this yajna, they are nourished. They meaning the cosmic forces. That is what Devas is saying, right? Indeed, who enjoys the objects given by Devas without offering in return to them is a thief. Bhagavan has clearly told that. Yeah. I mean, just two more. Okay. I think it is the righteous who eat the remnants of the sacrifice are free from all sins, and those sinful ones who cook food for their own sake verily eat but sin. So basically, he says that is dharma. So he has come from, see, karma, yajna, dharma. This is a beautiful dharmic cycle that Bhagavan is now bringing it together. Okay, he says, from food comes the beings. Okay, from rain, food comes. Okay, from sacrifice, rain comes. And sacrifices are born out of action. So the cycle, this is the dharmic cycle. So the entire, like how we read the water cycle and the nitrogen cycle and all that in our science, I think this dharmic chakra, dharma chakra, he calls it dharma chakra. He says, see, this is the thing. I don't have that with you. So when my actions are performed as a yajna, devas are fed, the cosmic forces, right? So the yajna feeds the cosmic forces. The cosmic forces in turn nourishes the Mother Earth or Prithvi, whatever, the gross creation. And the gross creation, only when that is nourished, again, I am capable of, because we are, capable of even performing karma, and the karma in the yajna spirit. So where is Bhagavan here? When the karma is done in yajna spirit, it is done by Bhagavan. Basically, we are aware that it is the ultimate doer who does that. So.
I think you remember there is a story about the sacrifice, about the golden mongoose.
Yudhishthira, no?
This is the right place for a story of that golden mongoose, where Yudhishthira was performing the sacrifice, and there was this mongoose who was half golden in color, who was walking around, and somebody said that, and the mongoose said, I'm looking for a sacrifice which is the greatest sacrifice. And everyone said that, no, you go to this Yudhishthira's sacrifice. I think that will be the place for you. And he goes there and rolls himself in that place. Everyone are watching. Why is he rolling himself there? And then he looks at himself and he's unhappy. Then somebody comes and asks him. There are so many versions. Okay, so somebody comes and asks him, what happened? First of all, how did you become half gold? Then the mongoose narrates, you know what? I have witnessed the greatest sacrifice. So, and with that, because of that, I am looking for another sacrifice which is in par with that. So what is that sacrifice you saw? Okay, let me tell you. There was one family. There was a family who was in absolute poverty. That is so much in poverty that they didn't have money for the next meal, or if they had, it was such meager amount that maybe among the 4 people in the house, maybe one person could have a proper meal. That was the amount. That is so less. So they were surviving with every day with very meager amount. But even then, the entire family was so devoted to Bhagavan, and every time, even a single meal they eat, their meal is only one morsel, and that morsel they eat, they used to be so thankful. Oh, thank you, Bhagavan, for beautifully offering this prasada. We are so grateful. So every time they were in that gratitude mode of receiving that one morsel of food. And one day, a guest came. And that at the time of the guest, the mother was preparing the roti. Okay, and the mother had only sufficient roti to make small one roti for each 4 of them. Okay, that was the level of roti, atta was remaining. So the mother was nicely preparing that. Correctly at that time, the guest came, and immediately the male, that is the father of the house, received the guest with absolute honor. Atiti Devo Bhava, like that he kept on saying, and made him be seated. Sir, what can I do for you? The sir said, I am very hungry. Immediately he went to go tell his wife, my share is there, give my share to him. The wife said, Arey, finally we got something, and then you're asking to give to him. Why don't we just say that we don't have anything and we'll ask? No. He's Bhagavan himself who's come here. We should not see all this. I can survive for one more day. That is not a problem. Come, make the roti, give it to him. So immediately she prepares the roti, goes and gives to this man, and the man eats it very happily. He said, I want more. And immediately the wife watches this and said, Arey, my husband itself has offered. For me, what is it? I can also survive one more day. What is the problem here? So she said, please, my dear husband, give my share also to him. And then the husband also gave her share. And this man again ate immediately. He said, I want one more. Immediately the son of the house said, father and mother, you both have sacrificed what I am so young. Absolutely, I can survive. Bhagavan has really given me this strength and the body to absolutely take care of myself. I also want to offer. I completely want to offer fully, and please give my food, my share also to this man. And again the man ate. Again he said, give me one more. Now the daughter also told the same thing, the daughter also. And they gave, absolutely thrilled, happily, and they were watching with joy of this man eating. So for them it was just an offering with absolute surrender and happiness and contentment, that they were able to give this share. And imagine that these people have not eaten for days and they have got this. And this man ate, and he finally burped. He said, thank you, I bless you all very much, and he leaves. And that night, because of hunger, the entire family, actually is very beautifully said, it is not written they died, they attained liberation. So that is how it is written very beautifully by Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. He says that night the family attained liberation. And there was this mongoose in the corner of the house. And that time the mongoose went and rolled himself in this house. The moment he rolled and he looked at himself, he saw that he was half golden color. And that time he realized that a place where there is ultimate sacrifice, then that is the place where his skin can, or his body can be gold. And he tells this man, you know what, from that day onwards my search is on to see the ultimate sacrifice, where the sacrifice is not done for myself but absolute offering there. But till now I have not found the place. So that is the way, is the story of the golden mongoose.
Very beautiful.
Shall we move on? Bala, please continue.
Yeah, before this, I thought it's also one more thing with Varaha. Yeah. So when I don't know where it comes. I think many Vaishnavas will know, right? The Charama Shloka. Charama means at the end, and the Shloka. Whatever Prabha had quoted the Vibhishana Rama incident, there when Rama says, I will protect anybody who comes, this is my brata, he says, right? Whoever surrenders to me. So that is one. And Sarva Dharman Parityajya, the last Bhagavad Gita shloka is one Charama shloka. And the other one, very beautiful one in Varaha Avatar. So at this point in time, it comes. I have heard it, but I don't see it in Bhagavatam. Maybe it is in Varaha Puranam or something. I don't know. So that if anybody else knows that can, but we can just look at that shloka. It is very beautiful. After Mother Earth, when Varaha was about to leave, then Mother Earth asks, it seems, see, now that all the because of the Prajapati, the Manu, Shatarupa, people are going to start live on Earth. Okay, how do I ensure that they get liberation or they live with Yajna spirit? Whatever. How do I? What is because you are leaving now in presence of you? Usually, when such we have seen, right? When some Mahapurusha, a huge Mahapurusha is there, then sins do not happen. So how do I protect my children? Earth is asking to Bhagavan, give me some. That is when he gives 2 shlokas. It's very beautiful. He says, all those who remember me when their health is good, when remember me as, one second, somewhere I had, is it here? Okay, I can't see my, okay. Yes. The way he had written, someone called, I don't know, Vedanta Deshikara, someone has written, okay, I'll just read that. He says, the meaning, one second. Earth, she is saying, pray to a lot, therefore, yes, begged. So tell me a Lagu Upaya. Now, please tell me, Earth is asking to Varaha. Okay, give me a very simple means, so that all my children will be free of burdens, will come out of samsara, whatever. Okay. And at that time, Varaha gives 2 shlokas. He says, this entire universe is my body, Shariram. We saw that, right? I do not have births or deaths. When my bhakta, surrender to me, while they are in a state of tranquil and healthy body and reflect about me as someone who is the root cause of everything, who is the substratum, who commands from within, that Antaryaman we have seen, right? And who is the ultimate, who is fit to be worshipped, who is all pervasive, who is always near. Okay, when the bhaktas, sthite manasi suswasthe, when they are in good state of health and good state of mind, when they contemplate on me like this, then during their last moments, that's what is given here, during their death, okay, I will remind them, I will give me my remembrance. Okay, that is a very beautiful statement that Bhagavan has. Aham smarami mat bhaktam. So this really touched, I was thinking, wow, we don't have to, so at that time when we are like this, in these times, when we, so Vedantically, if we have to say, when we keep building this vasana, that will probably automatically come. So Bhagavan says, I will come. So, okay, ultimate, the death is one aspect. So just like how we started today also, I was thinking, even in our day-to-day life, okay, when we are interacting in the world, there are many times where my ego is hurt, right? So what is ego hurt? Raghuramji very beautifully says, every time ego is hurt, I am facing death, right? Because I have my own self-image, isn't it? So whenever that is hurt, one death happens there. So at that time, if I'm aware, okay. Otherwise, we go through the pain and so many things, isn't it? So when I was thinking, when we are remembering Bhagavan during, when my mind is in the state of samadhana and all that, even those times he comes, isn't it? So when we are actually doing more of upasana, at those times, automatically, the remembrance of Bhagavan, he gives it to us. So that is also a very beautiful practice that we can connect to. So it's not this. This is a Charama shloka which they chant. So it says, Sthithe manasi suswaste sharire yatiyo naraha dhatu samye. Okay, I will see. Dhatu samye sthite smartha Vishwarupam cha mamajam. I am the Vishwarupam. I am Mam Ajam. I'm someone who's not born. So if they in the Suswasta and Sthitha Manas, in the steady mind, when they remember me, Tatastam Riyamanam tu, at the time of death. Kashta Pashana Sannibam. See, he says, when I stay like a log and a stone, right? My senses retreat, everything. So it is not at the final time of death. Even when my ego hurts, I go insane, right? So Kashta Pashana Sannibam, Aham Smarami Mad Bhaktam, Nayami Paramam Gatim. He says that. So with the support of, so keep chanting him. That's what Varahamurti is saying, no? When all other times, when I am in balanced state like this, keep remembering Bhagavan. Keep chanting. However you connect to him, either chant his name or I don't know, however you're connecting to him, to your Antaryaman, keep connecting to him and remember him. Then at that time, he only will come. Likita japa. However.
Actually, when as Bala was talking and this question that came up, it reminded me of this story of the churning of the ocean. If you all have heard of the churning of the ocean. So as now here there are asuras on one side and devas on one side. Okay. And the mountain's name is Mandhara. Manki Dhara. Our mind is flowing. These thoughts are here, one on going on this side. There are some thoughts which are going on the other side. Good thoughts, the not so good thoughts, the negative thoughts, positivity, negativity. It's just churning, and that Manki Dhara is just happening. And when that and what is actually churning this Mandhara? It is Vasuki, which is a representation of desire within us. Vasuki is a representation of desire. It is our desire which is causing all this, both sides. Oh, desire, this is good, but no, this is bad, this and that. And then we have, we have these talks within us, multiple talks going on within us. And then what happens, that Mandhara starts sinking. It's going down, it's going down, it's going down. In that ocean of samsara is just no anchor for that Mandhara mountain. It's just going down. At that time, it is the devas who remember the Lord. So it is the punya within me. It is that good essence. Now, if you look at the devas as the good impressions that I have collected, good samskaras that I have collected over time. And then then you have asuras are the negative samskaras that I have probably imbibed in some ways. It is this devas who immediately remember that, oh Lord, please come to our aid. This Mandhara is going down. So then at that time, the Lord comes as Kurmavatara and he gives that support to that Mandhara. When we seek his support, he supports us. And then from that, initially the poison comes out, then good health comes out, then finally the Amrit arrives. So what we can do is only keep feeding those Deva Samskaras within us. And if we keep feeding those Deva Samskaras within us, when that mind is going down, those Deva Samskaras will remind us, make us remember the Lord and seek his support. At that time it will come. So we just can have to see again, his coming it's we can only do, this is only our effort to come to Bhagavatam sessions, to listen to all of this all the time. We keep feeding that Deva samskaras and increase the Devas within us. So then that Deva will go seek the Lord at the right time.
Beautiful, Aarti. What a fantastic comparison here. So it's like if I'm flooded with all the thoughts, I'm sitting here and I'm so much of mental churning happening with these thoughts here. Something has happened. Somebody was written. My ego is hurt. That so and so thinks somebody is telling me or not telling me or whatever it is, and I'm sinking. And when at that time in the sinking mode, I am absolutely realizing that I am sinking. That is the mode, the thought process itself is the accumulation of that beautiful samskaras. That I am sometimes some people don't realize that they are sinking. So, and if I am understanding that, hey, you know what, I'm sinking, and that time you absolutely surrender and seek, and Bhagavan comes in some avatara, someone there would give you that, be a Kurma avatara. I have personally seen that, and that time suddenly you find yourself lifting, you know. And this is where Swami Aparajitananda ji beautifully says that you think that all this ego, these attachments, these people, there's so many desires, everything is all, you think that they're different cows and they're all having the reins. And then tie all the reins, think that you visualize yourself tying all these reins to the feet of Bhagavan. It's like a calf which is tied to that stick or something. So the Bhagavan, you surrender your ego. You say that, Aryo, you know what, I'm so bound to my son, I'm so bound to this, I'm having this desire which I'm unable to stop myself, I'm attached to this, or my ego keeps going up and unwanted places, and I really don't know how to do rein my ego, or whatever you could say. Oh Bhagavan, I absolutely put the reins to you and surrender to your feet. So you think that it is like a chalangai, it is like an anklet to the Bhagavan, and the Bhagavan will take care. It's like a calf which is thinking that it is tied to that stand there. The calf will move absolutely to that place only. So that is how he beautifully talks in one lecture, and I absolutely was visualizing that. It is so fantastic, because like somebody said, we don't know, when our ego is hurt, we are absolutely not understanding what to do also at that time. So at that kind of helplessness situation comes. That time we sometimes sink completely. At that time, you know that you're sinking and you just surrender. Then absolutely it just changes the entire scenario itself, like that. Beautiful, Aarti, beautiful.
In Subramanya Bhujangam also, Adi Shankara requests Murugan, Lord Muruga, Trichendur Muruga, at the time of the death, you should come and help me. In Subramanya Bhujanga.
That's all. No tension. We don't have to think, oh, at that time, will I remember him? What will happen? You have to remind me.
He has assured, no. Then why doubt? He has assured. If I remember when I am sane, he will come when I am insane. That's it. No doubt about it. When he has assured, I think our thing is to have complete Shraddha in Bhagavan. That is it's a beautiful bhajan. There is I don't know, I heard that it was very nice by Swami Tejomayananji. He had, first when he explains that bhajan, he says, oh Bhagavan, you come to all bhaktas, okay, where you come to people who are, near the village or whatever, different places, even in the caves, you come to see the bhaktas, you are great. So the bhajan starts like that. And then as someone who has written that bhajan, look at that. And then he says, oh, you tell me to do so much of karma, as a sadhana. Okay, you say, wait, I think I should just read that Hindi version. Someone had. And then, sorry, one second. It was very beautiful. It was very connected to this. So, Yeah, Shyam Sundar ko to ana hi hoga. Okay, he is like, you have to come, ana hi hoga. Bhakton ko darshan dena hi hoga. आज नहीं तो कल आना ही होगा. ग्राम में हो या नगर में, ग्राम या नगर, वन उपवन, नदी तट पर, जो भी, गिरी कंदारा में बैठा योगी, सबसे ही मिलने तो आना ही होगा. Okay, everywhere you have to come. The last one is very nice. It says, कर्म में है अधिकार तुम्हारा, कहकर हमें दिया संसारा. He's telling, karma mein, I have only adhikara on the karma and not on the fruits. He keeps saying that, right? Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. So कर्म में ही अधिकार तुम्हारा कहकर हमें दिया संसारा. सारी साधना, this is the highlight, okay? सारी साधना हम ही करें तो आप भी तो कुछ करना ही होगा. I think Aarti must tune this and sing sometimes.
Yeah.
Just loved this, the way, he's saying. Yeah, that one karma he has and he has told us he will do. Okay, so all that we need to do is yajna, I think.
See, so many stories in the aspect of yajna comes, starting with Kannappa Nayanar. Kannappa Nayanar also absolute hunter who actually just offers his eyes just because Bhagwan's the linga is crying. Because one of the days maybe we can have that story, because it's a big story. We have only 10 minutes maybe, but where his absolute attitude of offering, that's it, offering himself, that's all. So that is why he's called Kannappa Nayanar. His name was something else. I forgot his name, but he was a hunter who just was so mesmerized with Maheshwara Shiva, and who was just looking at Shiva as if a mother dotes on the child. The child is hungry. The child is hungry. The child is hungry. Let me go and feed the child. Let me go and feed the child. So it was like that. One day the lingam, the eyes starts, the blood starts rushing, and he says, "Hare, that's it. One eye replaced with another eye." Just removes his eye, puts it there on the lingams, and he's so excited. That is absolute offering that he couldn't feel any pain. There was no pain within him because he had absolute lost his identification with his own body. That is absolutely that is ultimate sense of offering and ultimate sense of devotion. Then he finds that the other eye is also crying with blood, and he said, "Arey, let me offer another eye, that's all." And suddenly he realizes, "Arey, but how can I offer the other eye? Because one eye is not there. How will I know where to put this eye in that particular place?" See his buddhi, how he is so concerned about Bhagavan, that Bhagavan for him at that time is not like Bhagavan for him. It was like that some kind of the internal connection for him. It was like absolute connection there. It was like that you could feel that how will I know where to put that bindi in that place? If you think like that, if I am blind, will I know where to put the bindi? So he thought, okay, let me put my toe on that particular place and then remove my eye and then put for him, because it was not for him that it was Bhagavan there. Oh, how can I put my toe? No, that internal connection was so ultimate that he put his toe, he raised his leg in like the Tandava portion, raises his leg and puts his toe at the exact eye position of that linga, and then he is about to pierce his eye with an absolute again sense of offering that who is suffering? Bhagavan is that linga is suffering. I have to do something. That was the attitude of karma there. Nothing else. That's it. And that is where Bhagavan immediately could not take it. Like you said, I am just doing my action, so you have to aapko karna hi padega. That is, he has to appear. That's it. So Bhagavan just appeared and he said, "Oh Kannappa, stop." That is one of the most outstanding. For me, that story is I always in awe of that. That how can you just lose your identity like that and go to that level like that. So it syncs with your last prose, Bala.
Ah, very beautiful. Complete he has sacrificed his identity with that individual identity. Beautiful. Yeah. Any song coming up, Aarti? Or we can.
Because next class will be who is this Asura? We are going to go to that, right? So we'll stop here, right?
Do we finish that? Is there some more lines?
Now Vidura
Or
asked him, Vidura paused for a while, listening to their words and vanished from their sight. Sorry, the Lord paused for a while, listening to their words and vanished from their sight. Vidura, now you know who's telling who, please come back, remember all these things. Maitreya Rishi is telling Vidura this story, right? So Vidura stopped, intervened and said, My Lord, it is thrilling to hear about this ancient incident. But tell me, who was this Asura? I have heard that Narayana, in the form of a boar, killed an Asura by name Hiranyaksha. This must be him, this must be he. Tell me how it came about that the Lord himself appeared to kill a mere Asura? Maitreya said, We have to travel a long distance back to trace the story of Hiranyaksha. So now we will move to the birth of Hiranyaksha, how Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, all these things will come. Very fantastic set of stories will come.
Okay. Finish with a few lines of a Purandaradasa song. Narayana Namada Smaraneya Saramritavu Naligege Barali Narayana Namada Smaraneya Saramritavu Naligege Barali Narayana ಕಷ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿರಲಿ ಉತ್ಕೃಷ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿರಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟಾದರೂ ಮದಿ ಕೆಟ್ಟು ಇರಲಿ ಐ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಇನ್ ಟ್ರಬಲ್ ಉತ್ಕೃಷ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟಾದರೂ ಲೆಟ್ ಮೀ even if I have lost my mind, may I say Krishna Krishna endu srishtaru penuva Krishna Krishna endu srishtaru penuva ಅಷ್ಟಾಕ್ಷರ ಮಹಾ ಮಂತ್ರದ ನಾಮವ ನಾರಾಯಣ ನಾರಾಯಣ ನಾರಾಯಣ. It's a bigger song. So in difficulty, even if I have lost my mind, may we remember this Ashtakshara mantra, Narayana. May we revel in him even in the worst of situations. And that, of course, the Srimad Bhagavatam has told us is possible only when we remember him even during the good times. Right? We are there, we are reveling in him. Oh. Asato ma satgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya sarve bhavantu sukhinah sarve santu niramayah sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukkha bad bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Thank you, Aarti. What a beautiful finale. Very beautiful.